So I'm always going to look at it because there's new ways of thinking, there's new technologies, there's new information that comes, and we want to be able to adjust and iterate on that.
My name is Matt Reiner, managing partner at Capital Investment Advisor, CEO of Wellness Strategies, an author, podcast host, and also a speaker to the wealth management community. My mission is to help every family in this country have access and be served by a human financial advisor. That we all have to live in the moment and not try to force progress too quickly. Let it happen and commit to a long-term strategy in your life, in your business, and in your investment portfolio.
And now, your host and my dad, Matt Reiner.
Welcome to the FutureProof Advisor podcast. Today, we're exploring something that's going to fundamentally change how you think about serving clients. For the past 9 months, I've been working on the most comprehensive national study of affluent Americans and their financial advisor relationships. What we discovered will challenge everything you think you know about client expectations and reveal the massive opportunity hiding in plain sight. Picture this. It's 2011, 2 years into my career as a financial advisor. I'm sitting across from Margaret, 62-year-old teacher whose portfolio had just gained $100,000 in 6 months. I slide the quarterly report across the mahogany table because that's what we had to have, barely containing my excitement. I thought this meeting would go great. Margaret, look at this performance, I said. She glances at the numbers and she just nods politely and then asks, but will I have enough to retire with purpose? That question haunted me. Here was a woman whose wealth had grown significantly, yet she felt no closer to financial peace. The numbers were, in my mind, I think relative to a lot of people, were spectacular, but her anxiety remained unchanged. And I realized something profound that day. I was measuring success all wrong. And 14 years later, I still have that moment ingrained in my mind. It was that moment that spurred me to undertake the most comprehensive national study that I believe has been conducted on what affluent Americans genuinely desire from financial advisors. We went out and surveyed 750 Americans aged 25 to 59 with over $100,000 in investable assets, and we weighted it to the U.S. Census with a margin of error of just plus or minus 3.58%. These are all of our current clients, all of our current desired prospects, and our future prospects and clients of our business. And what they told us will ensure that nobody ever has another Margaret situation again. So today we're going to dive deep into 5 really groundbreaking insights that emerged from this research. We'll explore why 89% of affluent Americans still believe human advisors are essential. Yes! That's what we all say in the wealth management business. But also, why half of million-dollar clients would switch advisors who lag technologically. Ugh. We'll uncover why 88% of clients expect you to help with their life's purpose, yet 57% of current advisory clients wish they better understood what they're actually working towards with purpose. And we'll reveal the shocking truth about what clients really think when you deliver great investment performance. So today we are diving into 5 groundbreaking insights that emerged from this research. We'll explore why 89% of affluent Americans still believe human advisors are essential. That is music to all of our ears. And here's the big but. This is also why half of $1 million or more clients would switch advisors who lag technologically. We'll also uncover why 88% of clients expect you to help with their life's purpose, yet 57% of current advisory clients wish they better understood what they're actually working towards with regards to purpose. And we'll reveal the shocking truth about what clients really think when you deliver great investment performance. These aren't just statistics, they are a roadmap to building an unshakable practice in an era of unprecedented change. By the end of today's episode, you'll understand exactly what separates advisors who thrive from those who merely survive. Here's what makes this study different from everything else you've seen. We didn't ask advisors what they think clients want. We asked clients directly. No filter, no assumptions, just raw, honest insights from the people writing the checks. And what we discovered challenges the fundamental narrative of our industry. While everyone's debating whether technology will replace advisors, I confirmed what I have believed and continue to believe so strongly. The human advisor isn't going away. But, and this is crucial, the human advisor must evolve. We are at a crossroads where clients simultaneously crave both the algorithm and the empathy, the spreadsheet and the soul. They want advisors who can leverage cutting edge technology while diving deeper into what it means to live a meaningful financial life. This isn't about choosing between high tech or high touch. It's about becoming both. The future belongs to advisors who can seamlessly blend technological sophistication with profound human connection. That's what I call the FutureProof Advisor. And that is what we found in this national study. So let me take you back to that conversation with Margaret, because it perfectly illustrates what this entire study revealed. I remember the mahogany conference room, the leather chairs, the diplomas on the wall, the financial charts that I was so proud to present. Margaret sat across from me, her hands folded in her lap, wearing this expression I couldn't quite read. And when I showed her the portfolio gains, I expected celebration. Instead, she seemed almost, burdened. Like the money was heavy rather than liberating. Matt, she said finally, I've been teaching for 35 years. I've saved diligently, lived modestly. I've done everything right, quote unquote right. But I still wake up at 3 a.m. wondering if I'll have a purpose in retirement. Purpose, not just money, purpose. In that moment, I realized I'd been solving the wrong problem. I was optimizing her portfolio when what she really needed was peace of mind. I was managing her money when what she craved was meaning. That conversation changed everything for me. It made me understand that financial freedom isn't about having enough money. It's about having enough clarity about what, quote, enough means to you. Margaret taught me that our job isn't just to manage money. It's to manage the relationship between money and meaning. And that lesson became the driving force behind this entire study. Here's the first major finding that will reshape how you think about your firm. 89% of affluent Americans believe financial advisors provide value that technology alone cannot deliver. Let's all take a moment and just say, yay. But here's the twist. They also expect you to be technologically sophisticated. Listen to these numbers. 79% of clients currently working with advisors expect their advisors to stay current with financial developments and technology. Among Gen Xers, your ideal clients and prospects, 74% say keeping up with technology is a requirement to be a great advisor. And get this, 54% of clients with $1 million or more would find it difficult to trust investment recommendations from an advisor who doesn't use the latest technology. Think about that for a moment. Technology has become a proxy for trust. Clients assume that if you're behind on tech, you might be behind on everything else. But here's what this really means: it's not about replacing human connection with technology, it's about using technology to create space for deeper human connection. When you leverage tech to handle routine tasks, you free yourself to do what only humans can do: listen, understand, and care. The clients who will thrive in the next decade aren't looking for robo advisors. I think we know that by now. But in this new world of AI, we need to say, what are they looking for? And what they are looking for are advisors who are tech enabled, but human centered. That is your competitive advantage. That right there is where the future proof advisor lives. The second insight reveals a fascinating paradox about what clients actually want from advisors. While we've been adding more and more services, clients are asking for something entirely different. When we asked affluent Americans with substantial assets what they most want from advisors, the top three responses were help prioritizing their wants and goals, clear steps to achieve those goals, and understanding what their future selves look like. Notice what didn't make the list: constantly innovating their services. Clients don't want more services, they want more connection. They want someone who truly knows them, understands their dreams, and guides them through the complex emotional landscape of wealth. And here's what's holding them back: the barriers aren't market related, they're behavioral. 50% of affluent Americans cite unexpected expenses holding them back. 42% cite not saving enough. And 38% cite overspending. These aren't financial hurdles. They're signals that clients need behavioral coaching. They are changes. They aren't investment related. They're behavioral in nature. And the most successful advisors of the next decade won't be the ones with the most sophisticated investment strategies. They'll be the ones who can help clients align their daily behaviors with their long-term vision, that are able to free time from investment management to focus on behavioral orchestration and behavioral management. You're not just managing portfolios. You now are in the world of managing the psychology of money. Thanks, Morgan Housel, for that one. This brings us to the third insight, and it's profound. Financial freedom isn't a number, it's a feeling. I think we may have known that, but we have always tried to search for what that number to make us feel good is. And there really isn't one. Because 57% of affluent Americans rate financial freedom as one of their top 3 financial goals. But when we asked them to define it, meaning financial freedom, they didn't give us a dollar amount. They said it's having enough money that I don't worry about money. Even more telling, 65% don't feel confident they'll have enough for retirement, and 66% don't feel confident they can live the lifestyle they want in retirement. These are people with substantial assets feeling financially insecure. And here's the kicker: 71% of those with $1 million or more said they would still work their current job if they had $1 million in the bank. Think about that. Even millionaires don't feel they have enough. And this reveals something fundamental about human psychology. There is no clear psychological, quote, enough. Financial success doesn't automatically create peace of mind. That's why our value as advisors isn't in just growing assets. It's in helping clients define what, quote, enough means to them personally. You're not just building wealth. We are helping to build the emotional capacity to enjoy that wealth. Without that definition, we never think we have enough. And that is our job, which means that we have to go a bit deeper. The fourth insight is perhaps, one of the more interesting ones and maybe most game changing. Clients are quietly asking for help with something that has nothing to do with investments and portfolios and everything to do with purpose. 88%. That's a high number. 88% of affluent Americans say helping with life purpose should be a part of a financial advisor's role. And 81% want to work with an advisor who connects their life purpose to financial planning. But here's the gap. 57% of clients currently working with advisors wish they better understood their own life's purpose. Nearly half of $1 million clients say the same thing. This isn't fluff, it's strategy. Purpose-driven clients make better financial decisions. They're more likely to stick with their financial plans during market volatility. But here's what's fascinating. Purpose confidence is tied to income. High earners feel confident about their purpose because their identity is wrapped up in their career. What happens when they retire? When that income anchor is removed, purpose anxiety skyrockets. This is why the future-proof advisors of the next decade will be purpose archaeologists, people who help clients dig beneath their balance sheets to discover what they actually want from their wealth. This way, they can retire with a sense of purpose and an ability to enjoy the wealth that they have created. And that job, that burden to help clients with that falls squarely on the shoulders of all of us. The final insight ties everything together. Trust is your growth engine, and purpose is how you build it. 77% of affluent Americans would invest more with an advisor they trust. And this jumps to 81% among those already working with an advisor. But trust today requires more than competence, it requires purpose alignment. When we asked how advisors can help clients better define and live their purpose, they wanted three things: help finding ways to do more that aligns with their purpose, education on how to find their life purpose, and accountability to their goals. Notice what they didn't want: more investment products or financial services. They wanted guidance, clarity, and alignment. And here's the urgency. This isn't just about serving current clients better. It's about attracting the next generation. 89% of older millennials, your future millionaire clients, want to work with advisors who help them connect life purpose to financial planning. Nearly 9 out of 10 want that. Purpose isn't the future of wealth management, it is the present competitive advantage that pays dividends across every stage of your clients' lives. As I reflect on these findings, I keep coming back to Margaret in that moment in 2011. She wasn't asking for better performance. She wasn't asking for more services. She was asking for a purpose, for the confidence that her money would support the life she'd earned the right to live. And what strikes me most about this study is how it reveals the profound loneliness that can exist even among the wealthy. People accumulating assets without understanding why. Clients with substantial portfolios who feel purposeless about their wealth. We've created a generation of financially successful people who feel existentially lost about their money. And that represents the greatest opportunity in the history of our industry. The future doesn't belong to advisors who can explain a portfolio. It belongs to advisors who can connect the portfolio to someone's deepest sense of meaning and purpose. When I started this study, I thought I was researching client preferences. What I discovered was something much deeper. a roadmap to becoming irreplaceable in an age of artificial intelligence. The message from affluent Americans is clear. They don't want to choose between technology and humanity. They want advisors who seamlessly blend. They don't want more services. They want deeper connection. They don't want just financial freedom. They want clarity about what freedom means to them. The future proof advisor isn't someone who resists change, it's someone who evolves ahead of it, someone who uses technology to create space for the work that only humans can do, helping people align their money with their meaning. That's not just the future of wealth management, that is the future of a life well lived. No poll this week. No poll. But if today's insights resonate with you, I encourage you to download the complete national study. You'll get access to all the detailed findings and a step by step framework for implementing purpose driven advisory work in your firm. You can find the link in the episode description or just go visit mattreiner.com to access the full research. With that, I say thank you. Thank you for spending time with me today, exploring what it means to be truly future proof. It means the world to me, and I'll never take it for granted. Go out there and be part of the change that betters our industry. Stay well, be well, keep on exploring.